You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 154 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. They're really, really good. Hit me for those details.
Longevity. Last time you sold a beat,
man, sooner than you think. Longevity, how are you, sir?
Sooner.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, Mike. How are you?
I like the Stay Woke t-shirt. That's fresh right there.
Thanks. Shouts to Zion I.
Oh, word.
Zumbi.
Speaking of longevity, Ableton Professor, I call him at Academics, music producer, also founder of bringingdowntheband.com. Good to see you, brother, as always. Across the table, fresh to death, and a Calvin Klein exclusive joint. I see you. Long sleeve joint, DJ extraordinaire, CEO of Printfinity, and also longtime contributor to Bringing Down the Band, my man DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's good, son?
Hey, Calvin Klein ain't cut the check or put me in any posters or ads or nothing.
You right.
So
I should have
it's
chilled
just
right
a nice
there.
sweatshirt.
Okay. If they do want to cut that bag, though, I don't know if Calvin them still
ready.
cut
I'm not
bags.
trying to do an A$AP Rocky shoot.
Hell no.
But
we wouldn't even let you do that though. So
let me.
Yeah.
Ain't no,
I mean, you're not gonna do it, but I'm saying before you even get to that, we wouldn't let you do that.
Me?
Yeah, that ain't no swag. That ain't my swag.
He like a goddamn fool in that picture. So
that's what he want to do, man.
It is what it is. To my immediate left, I call him DJ extraordinaire, avid Chicago sports fanatic, and national park enthusiast. The incomparable DJ Spoolz.
I like that.
Michael.
I like that.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, man?
Good, man. I know you had a trip a while back, you know what I'm saying, out there in the parks, brother. So I know that's your thing. So we're going to go ahead and throw that into the intro to let everybody know that you're one with nature, brother.
I try, man.
Yeah.
I don't get as many opportunities as I'd like, but
It's all good.
I think it's important.
People that have been rocking with us, you know, for an extended period of time know that Spoolz, his park game is high. We had this conversation a while back.
Word to the Salagos.
Yeah,
Leslie,
shout out to Salagos. But his park game is high. We've talked about this. I don't know what the episode was. I don't remember it. I know it was a while back, but yeah, Spool's nature game is extremely high. So
when I went off on like a 20-minute tangent about parks?
Yes, that episode is one of my personal favorites.
I think it was legit 10 minutes.
10,
at least. It felt like 20 minutes. But it was a consistent 10 minutes. Yeah.
You guys ready?
He can tell you about the poison and everything.
Yeah.
What mushrooms to eat.
Facts.
I can't. I don't eat any mushrooms out there.
Word.
Okay. Kids, Spoolz don't eat mushrooms.
All right, so don't take his advice.
Goddamn right. Yeah.
He might know about a good sandwich though.
Oh
might.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what's
Based
crazy?
on the conversation before
You know what's
the
crazy?
podcast.
I don't mind having this conversation real quick before we jump into the rundown. Shout out to Jay Moore.
He's in the building.
Kansas City Mac.
what's
He's in the
going on?
building. St. Louis Mac. The voice.
Got a nice
of any,
watch on tonight.
You know, Movado
It's
joint.
sharp,
Yeah,
dude.
Movado
Like
joint.
It's not Movado, but you know, it's a nice timepiece.
Keep it clean though.
Yeah, he do keep it clean. Voice of Indianapolis Master of Ceremonies. You'll see that man pretty much anywhere, speaking on the mic, getting that paper. But we did have this conversation. I got a little frustrated because y'all trying to force.
He also got a little racial. But I don't know if we're.
We might get there, but
Sure.
we had a conversation
Might as well.
about, as we talked about meats, right? What we like. There's so many pauses here. I don't know what to do. I'm treading here. I'm treading. So, I don't have
just
a
call
pause.
them cold cuts.
Cold cuts.
Cold cuts.
So
Yeah,
that way
cold
you just
cuts.
get through it
Thanks,
without
Spoolz.
Without having to,
your insecurities.
yeah.
It's on me. Thank you, Bradley.
Please tell us about the meat you like on your tongue.
Stop, man. Coke. We had a cold cut conversation, and everybody here, Long, Jay Diff, Spoolz, Jay Moore, are fans of salami. Now, I think salami is trash.
No, you forced.
1000%.
No, you're already fabricating.
Bring that back.
How am I fabricating it? You said you like salami. No.
We got to go back even further.
Okay, so how far should I go back? Because
You should go back
Right
to
at
the
the
point where you
beginning.
said
nah, leave me. This ain't about me.
everybody
This ain't about
is
me.
a fan of salami. That's not the case.
All right, so everybody here is a fan of salami.
No, that's still not. You got to phrase it right, man.
Bro, you don't like salami?
We are talking about bologna versus salami.
Right.
I'm a bologna person, 1000%.
Okay.
But I still say
You work too hard.
Come on, man. Everybody in this room likes
be a
salami
bologna.
Just
except
real
for me.
quick, it's just Mike called salami one of the top 5
Trash.
worst cold cuts.
Trash.
Which
Ever.
was
He said he
insane.
likes
And
brown swagger.
he also said
Trash.
that he prefers bologna to salami.
100%.
And those were 2 statements that
I stand by
Jay
those.
Moore, Terry, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't let slide.
He made it seem like salami is just some sort of treat meat.
Sean was just kind of. Sean was just
meat.
kind of. I actually don't know what Sean likes, to be honest. Like he prefers turkey to
Turkey's
salami
better than salami.
and roast beef to salami.
So
Both are better than
The
salami.
reason why I stopped you, Mike, is because I don't like salami. But you can't compare salami and bologna. Salami is way better than bologna.
Fine. Whatever y'all want to compare it to, whatever you choose, I'm going to take the opposite. So if
So
you
you're
want to
just being a
compare it to,
contrarian.
This guy.
here goes Spoolz with the thumb.
Oh,
so whatever,
okay.
so whatever y'all want to compare it to, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take the opposite. So if we do salami versus turkey, turkey's obviously better than salami, right?
I like turkey. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Right?
the argument was
What's the argument?
being grown.
We grown.
Like,
we grown as hell.
At 9 o'clock at night, you might want to pick that turkey sandwich over the salami joint
Yes, sir.
just
Yep.
because of the sodium intake.
I like
you got to
that.
pay attention to shit like that
I
when
like
you get
that.
older.
When you get older, you do. I like that.
But a
You don't
good
want
salami
heartburn.
sandwich,
Mm.
a good Italian with some salami on it,
Yeah.
some
good
peppers,
mustard.
some good mustard, some good cheese.
Pastrami is better than
Some provolone.
you like
Maybe
some
some ham too, or some
Like
or
that.
some capicola.
pepper
Capicola.
jack. I like pepper jack.
I like pepper jack.
Sometimes you can just have crackers with cheese and salami.
and bologna if you're
I fucking-
5 and
I
you
hate
like
bologna.
Lunchables.
Have you ever been
I
to a
hate
nice
that.
wine and cheese party?
Yeah, they got bologna
and
on
they
there.
came out
Never.
with the little board.
Yeah, they have
And-
bologna on there.
No, they didn't. They don't. They don't make that
Where
up.
were you
And
talking about?
if they do, you
Where
need to
were
stop
you at?
going to those places.
Oh, come
Mike
on,
said
man.
they had bologna on
Of
there.
course, 100%.
But a fine salami will always be on a nice.
I don't
wine and
like
cheese.
how y'all. I don't like how y'all are ignoring everybody here. Spoolz,
I went,
not just
I went
them.
boating with some friends over the summer, and everybody like chips in something. They bring something, and somebody
Yeah.
brought like a package of some crackers and cheese and
Like
stuff
cheese,
like that.
just a little
there
something
wasn't any
to slice up.
fucking bologna in it.
Yeah.
To be found,
Listen, man.
you know?
Yeah.
But there was
back
some
in it.
really good salami.
All
I'm
day.
mad. I'm mad because y'all are ignoring your childhoods.
No,
Everybody.
Listen,
No, we're not.
The variety
About-
pack.
about
This
the,
is
Remember
where,
the
this is where
variety
race-
pack?
This is where it got racial.
The variety
for Mike earlier.
Let me talk about the variety pack, though.
Hold on. Let me
Exactly.
clarify.
No,
There's
let
no
me
race.
talk about the
But there's no
variety
race
pack.
here.
Let me talk about the
Go
variety
ahead. Do
pack.
the variety pack.
The variety pack had 5 different types of cold cuts in it.
Uh-huh.
It had like a turkey,
Bologna.
with
Turkey
bologna,
ham.
All right.
turkey ham,
Yeah.
salami,
Yeah.
and it might have just been 4. I don't know.
Okay.
Guess what got left to eat last?
Salami.
If it
The
got ate at
bologna.
all.
The salami was getting knocked out first.
Every time.
Salami and turkey. Yep.
Maybe even tandem.
Oh man.
Maybe combo those up.
Yeah.
Salami and
Yeah.
turkey.
Salami and turkey.
On one
You
cracker.
leaving that turkey in there not turkey, the bologna in there to eat last.
Okay.
The only way I mean bologna is if it's fried with cheese, like a fried grilled cheese bologna, and that takes me back to being 8.
He's not abandoning his childhood. I appreciate that.
You know what?
Y'all are.
You know why the rest of us have
But
done
I
that?
grew
Because
out
we're
of
not
it.
children, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry.
people's tastes grow.
I don't have to eat
you know,
bologna
I didn't
anymore.
like beer when
Yeah.
I was 8.
I feel
Hey,
you.
bologna
I
was-
hope not.
Good God.
I don't have to eat it.
Exactly. That's a great point.
I used to like American cheese.
Okay.
I didn't smoke cigarettes when I was 8. How's that?
Yeah, you probably still like the cheese, the fake ass cheese in the plastic. You got to peel them all off.
You fucking up.
Oh,
the
you
crack
really
samples.
abandoning your
That you
childhood
can't,
now.
if you light it on
Okay.
fire, it won't even melt.
Yeah. You
That's
never
what you
ate.
still fuck with that?
You never ate that.
I didn't say I said
just
still.
saying.
Do you still eat that?
No, I don't eat it now.
Well then,
But you still abandoning your childhood
no, I'm not.
As of today,
as of today. Thank you, Long. That's
I'm thinking
fucked
about
up, man.
I'm thinking about elongating my life.
End of the day, Mike, it's everybody's own call what they like.
Yeah.
Is
It
what they
is,
like,
cool.
and it's all good.
If we
It's
come to your
just
house, don't fix us no
unfortunate.
bologna sandwiches. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna have a red ring around it, 100%.
You're supposed to
Bubbled
take
up.
that off. You're not supposed to eat
You
that.
definitely
Yeah.
take it off.
Did
But
you
it's
know
supposed
that?
to bubble up. The stops.
Do you eat candles too?
You've been eating that piece of plastic
Crayons.
all this time.
you eat the plastic fruit.
Yo.
He tried to bite it. You remember how some people would have the fake fruit that was kind of soft
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
malleable, and you go over some people's house, and they badass kid to put a bite mark in it,
Goofy.
goofy ass,
Goofy than the mother.
and it's just sitting there as decoration with a bite mark in it. Just
Yeah.
goofy ass children try
I
to
feel
eat.
you. I appreciate you putting closing it up for me, Spoolz. I get it, but I'm just saying.
And then different strokes, different folks. at the end of the day.
100%. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the rundown for what we have. Jay Diff showed me a video of KD. Shout out to KD getting back from his injury. He sat down with Hot 97.
He's not back from his injury.
Getting back from his injury. He's still working on it. He ain't quite back yet. But
Will he play at all? You
No.
think?
Not this
It
year.
seemed like coming back in the playoffs.
Last quarter of the season, maybe before the playoffs.
Nah, he gonna sit his ass down.
If he's smart, I'd sit the whole season out. Don't risk it. He's already risked enough for Golden State. So,
That's a good point.
KD, just chill, man. Come back the following year. Get back to that 27 a pop because one of the best scorers I've ever seen. So I think he'll be fine because he can shoot. But he was on Hot 97 talking to Ebro and Rosenberg, Laura Styles. And they asked him, you know how they asked the guests, what you want to hear? What you want to hear? The first thing he came up with was Freddie Gibbs. And we talked about that album. I love Palmolive. We talked about him and Mad Lib, but I tried to get a few of the quotes from the conversation, and it started off once he suggested that. KD starts off and he says after Ebro calls it underground, he says, "So what's underground? What's mainstream?" Like these are the questions that KD starts to pose to them, and Ebro says, "Nah, it's not politics. It's not politics." And
No, you gotta, because old girl said it was politics.
Laura Styles, you're right.
Yeah,
Laura
that's where
Styles said
that's where
it's
that comment
politics,
came
and then
from.
Ebro followed up, no, it's not politics. It's
Right.
not politics. And then Ebro goes into a spiel about people want to sing along with melody during their commute to work and when they're driving or whatever. And then KD says, you don't like to cater to the people who like Freddie Gibbs, which was a great question. I thought that was real dope. Ebro responded and he says, I like to cater to the people who give ratings. But KD then responded and said, but sometimes it's about the art, which was dope of him to say. So it tells you that he might be an actual hip hop head and actually listens to it for, what it is at the root, however you want to call it.
What's known that KD got some good taste in music.
Yeah, that's dope. And Rosenberg chimes in and he says, it's like Walmart right now at this point. The music game in terms of how it is now. So that was very interesting to me. So my question is,
what does that mean?
To Walmart in terms of just how fast everything is. People come in and, stream stuff real fast, instant gratification, come in, buy it, and they're gone. Like nothing lasts. Everything's real fast.
Kind of the same representation of the microwave era.
Right.
Everything's so turnkey and
it's always been like
door.
that.
Yeah.
You think so? In comparison to now? You
pop music has always been this. It's just hip hop's pop music.
Maybe switch it to pop music.
It's just it's a hip hop radio station.
So here's my question.
Maybe it's a pop radio station now.
That's fair. Don't save that. I'm coming to Jay Diff. So with Ebro ignoring the concept of the politics, clearly he contradicted. We talked about this prior to coming on. Does that even matter in 2019 in the streaming era in terms of them talking about the politics and not wanting to play certain things? Because to me, radio has been pushed back. It's no longer at the forefront, in my opinion. It's about playlists. It's about streaming services. So this politics conversation that they're having and why you don't want to play Freddie Gibbs, does that even matter at this point? Do you think that's relevant now?
I think it's still relevant.
Okay.
I mean, because people, even with streaming, people still commute listening to the radio regardless. Maybe you're not going home listening to the radio like people used to do back in the day. We used to listen to the radio, actually record what was going on the radio.
Facts.
But you're still the radio is still a valuable tool. And for him to say that it's not politics, but in the same token, say he wants to cater to the people that give the ratings.
That's politics.
That's definitely politics.
Right.
Because you're catering to who you consider your audience. But you're not trying to, like KD was saying, why aren't you catering to people that fuck with Freddie Gibbs?
Right.
Or listen to Freddie Gibbs or whatnot. That's a fair argument, I think. But
Very.
That's how the radio's been forever, though. Like, even when they started playing hip-hop on the radio, it was never really an underground hit. It was always whatever made the forefront to, like, the top 5 on TRL or The Basement. You know what I'm saying?
All shows that we watched.
All the shows that we watched. There
those.
was never like Wu-Tang really didn't get radio play here. They may have got it in New York until that hot the Hot 96 show when they pretty much was like, fuck y'all, and they stopped playing them. But other than that, it's kind of been like that.
Just catering to advertisers.
That's pretty much it. You think?
I mean, we see it with YouTube. Even YouTube even rolled something out new recently where they have this new policy and how they what content will be available for certain advertisements. They have no good way to like distinguish what advertisers fit with certain content. So like if we're over here talking about, for example, here's an interesting thing. If we just have certain things in our headlines, we automatically get partial advertisement unless I manually review it. So like I remember once I put Nipsey Hussle just in the title, that got docked just for having his name in it. There are a couple other times where if you say anything kind of controversial, even if you're just talking about it, like if we talk about a school shooting, it's automatically going to get docked if it's in the title. So if we have to not put it in the title or not talk about it. So it's kind of an interesting kind of censorship in a way, because you know that even people like us and everybody else, that means that we can't talk about specific things because then it messes up the money aspect of things, right? Right. So radio, what we're talking about now, is just even more than that because they got the big advertising dollars. It's all about money.
I get it. Spoolz, jump in. Any thoughts on just the entire concept of what we're talking about with the politics? And
I mean, there was a point where hip hop was. I mean, back in the day where hip hop wasn't pop music yet,
right?
You know? And at some point, obviously, there was like a split or a diverged. There's a show on Netflix called 𝗏𝗲𝗄𝗏 that I think is pretty good. Or it's like a documentary.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's well done. And but they talk about that. Like there's an episode about when like kind of the underground kind of started or whatever, and that you see it out in LA with like, what was it, the Goodie Cafe?
Freestyle
Fellowship. You see it in New York with Mos Def, Talib, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
They're doing the Lyricist Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like it's interesting, and there's definitely politics involved with it. But at the end of the day, too, I was kind of just thinking about, as you guys were talking, like, is radio supposed to, what role does it serve now? You know what I mean?
Question.
Like, is it supposed to introduce you to, like, isn't it supposed to cater to what people want?
Yes.
Or not?
Yeah.
Like, or not, you know what I mean? Or is it supposed to have an agenda of its own? I wish it were diverse enough to where, like, underground hip hop or whatever people call that had its own popular radio station or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Network, but it just, there's pockets of it. You know what I mean? But
maybe XM.
Just real quick, because like I said, being kind of behind the curtain at one point, radio hasn't been about art in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Radio is about product placement.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for you to even try to in a way fight this fight. I understand where Kevin Durant's coming from.
Right.
Because he'd like to hear certain artists on the radio. I would too. But that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to. And I think it's a cool argument. It's cool that Kevin is talking about that, but it's really kind of barking up the wrong tree. And I see that too a lot of times, typically once every year, depending on what city you're in. If you're involved in the music scene somehow, you'll probably see an artist in your city complain about radio not playing local music to some extent.
Yeah.
But then they won't even have a clean song for them to even play.
But even that is irrelevant. Like the radio caters to the radio. Like obviously that's a quick way to get people to hear your music, but if you don't make music that caters to their platform, why are you worried about it?
So is it more about that? I mean, I'm kind of getting back to what I was saying. I mean, this is what people want to hear.
Yeah.
That's what makes it
people
popular
want to
music.
hear the popular music because it's popular.
Mm-hmm. More people than want to hear the underground stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's just like when you think about Nas's first album, Illmatic didn't have what is technically called a radio hit. So when they were crafting, it was written, they were like, okay, we're getting on the radio with this album. We're going to do what Biggie Smalls figured out how to do on Ready to Die. Was keep the hardcore, but we're going to have our version of
And
Juicy.
that wouldn't If I Ruled the World.
Yes, exactly. So
No, that was his second album.
yeah, that was the second album.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like they made
It
a
was
conscious effort to make sure Nas got on the radio with that second album.
Yeah, and have you guys seen the arguments to where Biggie killed hip hop?
Yeah.
I've not seen
I
that.
have.
Nah,
I didn't see that one. What is
Actually,
the
Real quick, shout out to Greg Granite. He put me on. Like him and I had that that discussion like a long time ago. It was interesting, but yeah, go ahead.
What's-
No,
It's
that's I was just
funny.
gonna say.
It's interesting.
I haven't. That's interesting to me. I haven't heard that one.
The shiny suit era kind of. There's arguments out there that say that people feel that way. That shiny suit era Biggie, and when that like kind
Bad
of
Boy
killed, kind of
Mace.
started the descent of popular hip hop.
Yeah, because it crossed that realm from being an underground movement.
I think what it was
into
too
popular.
Probably more like Hypnotize. I think is like
Yeah.
really
What it
like,
was, too,
the
though,
second album.
is Puffy was good at making R&B records before he started making hip hop records.
That's a
So he
fact.
took those same pop R&B elements and put it in the big, and it worked.
The direct samples that he pulled. You know what I mean?
Direct
You know what I mean?
samples, kind of, I wouldn't say ballady raps because that's more LL Cool J, but raps that cater to women.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Big Papa.
One more chance.
Well, they
One
were
More
just
Chance,
they were
things
more
like that.
commercially viable though.
Yeah, and then
they
they
were
had
singing in
remixes.
choruses and stuff
They
like
had
that.
remixes to every song that they had come out. There was a dope ass remix. Like I just wrapped up the You Got book.
Yeah.
and,
Nice.
He spoke about how Puffy's version of Y'all That I Need is the one that won the Grammy,
Yeah.
not RZA's, and how RZA kind of felt a certain way about that.
Wow.
Possibly. So he would. This is where I don't know. You got to
It's
check that
interesting.
out. Yeah, but he had the formula down pat. So I mean, that there could be some truth to that possibly.
I mean, it's documented that, well, through interviews and you hear people talking about Big not even originally liking a sample when it was presented to him by Puff for Juicy. Like, it's like, all right, man, what is this? You trying to make me go pop. You trying to make me go this and that. And it turned out, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, to your point about Puff, it's like him being able to cross Big over. And Big, I don't think Big lost who he was. I just think Diddy was brilliant enough to cross him over.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
We really don't know. I mean, because he had one more album, but
Yeah.
he died. Did he die before his?
He
second
died before.
Yeah, before Life After
came
Death.
out.
Yeah.
But once again, it just goes back to what Terry said. Puff said, "Okay, we're making a concerted effort to get on the radio."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's something that really, especially with a lot of East Coast hip hop, they were just like, "Okay, we're just gonna do an album."
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
worry about getting on the radio. We're gonna, because radio really wasn't there for hip hop like that, and it is almost like kind of the stars just lined up at a certain point.
Yeah.
To where, okay, they're adding this much hip hop to radio, we're gonna get those slots.
One More Chance. Y'all remember.
Yeah, you remember the remix to One More Chance.
That's what to his point, like that's
The
to
album
his
version
point.
is completely different.
Yeah, but the remix is the one though. That's the one.
They had
The
remixes
video-
for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I mean, Puffy, he figured that out when he was working with Heavy D
yeah.
and Mary J. Blige. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They knew it. They had him and Andre Harrell had that formula down packed for that time. So I mean,
I'm glad you said the name Heavy D because I wanna go into this next topic.
Hold on, real
Go
quick
ahead, Spoolz,
before we
I'm sorry.
do. I don't necessarily agree with any of those theories that Biggie is what started the like. You know what I mean? But they're interesting. There's like
Yeah.
cool
weird
to
hip hop.
entertain.
They're like weird hip hop conspiracy
Yeah.
almost type theories. Although I don't like. I feel like that's like a derogatory term.
Biggie
But, like,
really didn't even wear the shiny suit though.
You guys remember? That's true. It was Mace and Puffy,
And Puff,
right? You know?
yeah.
But Warning had a video.
Yeah.
That'd be my argument against that. Warning was a grimy, dope fucking song. You know what I mean?
Hell
Like
yeah.
it wasn't One More Chance, and it wasn't
But
some
it was
of those
the
other.
B-side to,
Hell yeah.
Was it?
it was the B-side to Big Papa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was a beast. Like that song is incredible. It's one of my. It's actually probably my favorite Biggie song. Like
Yeah, he killed that.
so, that would be my argument against some of that because it was still, like you said, it was still, 3/4 of his album, 2/3 of his album was still just really good, dope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
even his last album, Life After Death, it balanced out the commercial shit
Super balanced.
with the hardcore shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. He had the joint. He had quote unquote those joints on there, but to me it didn't kill the vibe of the entire concept of the double CD. Like it's too much heat on there for you to be like, okay, it's 100% commercial, whatever. Like he was definitely telling stories. He was definitely barred.
He definitely had commercial records on there.
100%.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Out the gate.
And that's popular culture in general is just interesting, even when you just think about it outside of music, but just like the embodiment of what popular culture is, because so many different genres of life have the different levels of underground versus popular culture, right? And then, everything is working towards getting more people, more eyes on everything, and then it hits that certain range, and then it becomes popular, and then it's just what it is.
I mean, it's always an interesting thought, like as an artist, thinking about it from an artist's lens, like, don't you want to? I mean, some do, I guess, want to be popular at the end of the day. You want to be able to at least survive off of your art talents and your art. You know what I mean? But like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
At all. I agree, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
Those cats who I guess are able to do that and thrive, were I don't know, are fewer and farther between. I feel like
if you think about Life After Death, like if you actually go through the track list, Sky's the Limit is one of my favorite joints on there. Now I would consider that to be more of, one of those.
Oh, they were going for the radio with that. Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. But to me, that's one of my favorite joints on the album. And then you still got, Long Kiss and the rest of them grimy joints where he's storytelling. I got a story to tell. All those joints, those are still there. But when I listen to that album, Sky's the Limit is one of the joints I go back to over and over again.
It's a good song.
The song is dope though.
But the thing is too, another real quick thing with popular culture too is like, to anybody who started off with something really underground and then they brought something from like 8 people checking it out to 100 to 200 to 1,000 to thousands, you go through steps because you start to realize that you're not just catering to 8 people anymore. Right. And that now you're catering to 100 people. Now you're catering to 1,000 people. Then you got like hundreds of thousand people. And then then we see artists that are legitimately, like I love Common, but a lot of his music right now seems very generalized.
Especially that last release.
It just seems like it's like a shot to catch as many people as possible as opposed to like focus on something specific that maybe he want to do. Yeah. I think that as that pressure builds up in general, that's just what happens sometimes for artists.
But isn't it about like, as an artist, being able to not have to cater to anyone and just let it come out?
Maybe it's a new challenge too, right? So I know I can get this. So if I put a new record out, maybe I can try something different and get. Right. Maybe they're evolving in a way that we just don't align with because we have our standards on the art, right? And maybe they're adapting in a different way that we don't. Fans is what I mean.
I think there's a difference between, evolve, like the actual process of evolution for an artist, and then overthinking the process as you evolve. I think those are two different things. I think there are some artists that actually evolve naturally and are cognizant and aware of their fan base and choose to grow that way. Mm-hmm. Then I also feel like there are people that overthink it. Oh man, I gotta make one of these. My fan base is growing, so I gotta make one of these. Right. And in turn, they lose themselves. Right. Like I think those are two different things. I think there are some people that can grow and still be aware, of their audience as it grows to its point to 8 to 50 to 100 to whatever.
Here's a caveat to the whole Biggie Puffy situation though. They changed how you hear hip hop in the club. Yeah. Like literally it was just on some fly shit.
Yeah. I agree.
And it took that shift because it even made Nas start trying to make flyer shit to be played, what I'm saying, in the club.
And then Jay slid right on in.
Definitely. He damn near mastered it.
Facts.
Well, slid right on in. Think about it, because what that era did is you saw a lot of missteps. even with Jay.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about the
Absolutely.
song Sunshine and the video.
Love that album.
You
That
know,
song
think
is
about
trash.
how that album starts off, but the first, you know, with 1,000,001 questions and,
Yeah.
you know, Streets is watching, but
Yeah.
then the first single is Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sunshine
And I-
worked though.
I didn't
It
like
did.
Sunshine though.
It may not have worked in the Midwest, but this was my first time hearing any joint off of that album. Was at the Puff Daddy and the Family tour. Jay-Z was opening for them.
Right.
𝐀𝐁𝐿 is DJing.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever heard this song before. He
Yeah.
drops that song.
Yeah.
And the way that shit just sounded to me
Yeah.
at the time, especially never hearing it.
Right.
Then you hear Babyface on the hook. I thought it worked. And it definitely worked on the East Coast.
It probably definitely
That
works.
rock in it didn't have that sample for that had rock in
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Because it had
I'm not
that
mad
and-
at you saying it worked. But
No, I mean, once again, when I was working in radio, I always said, "Don't ask me if I like it. Ask me if it'll work."
Yeah.
I still
Right.
say that to people.
Yeah.
Don't ask me if I like it.
That's
And that,
subjective,
and that
though.
goes back to the
That's-
politics that we just talked about, right?
Exactly.
That what
Exactly.
works, like that
Yeah.
that is, and that's okay.
Once again,
You know
it's,
what I
it's
mean?
not
But
about.
God bless
it's
the
not about
underground,
art. It's
man,
about
that's
product
for sure.
placement.
You know?
Bingo.
Like I'm
Yeah.
glad that whole concept exists. You know, like
I think that's important what he said to Spoolz' quote about God bless the underground, because to me hip hop is at its best when it's balanced. Like
Exactly.
when you have the yin and the yang.
there's
right?
nothing wrong with people
I'm not
wanting
mad
to
at
make
that.
popular rap records.
No.
There's
Nothing
wrong
at all.
with that at all.
Yeah.
And I
nothing
think
at
that's
all.
where the disconnect is. People try to when you consider some hip hop more pop side,
Right,
versus
right.
the more quote unquote hip hop,
Right.
then certain people tend to take offense to it.
Don't
Right.
don't tell
And
old,
it's-
old heads that. They'll get,
Oh my God.
They'll get offended.
Oh my, we supposed to be those guys. Well, we supposed to be.
Now, we had a whole
transitioning into-
we had
were
a
never
different
supposed-
definition of that, Mike.
I'm sorry.
It's not what we are.
Maybe that's what
Do
you
you know
did.
the
Maybe
do you know
that's
the
you.
title of our podcast?
new.
Yeah, there's definitely a different
No,
spin on
I
that.
feel you. I feel you.
But
New old heads
people
mean something
usually
else.
get like offended when people bring that type shit up.
100%.
Yeah.
Long hit the nail on the head. He's right.
I see
about the concept. We see it you see it in the comments. You see it through casual conversation. Whenever certain
Like
stuff
why
comes
are
up.
you why are you sharing this and giving this light when
Yeah.
there's all this other things out here that need to be given light? It's like, what are you doing?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sharing anything, brother? Like what are we talking about here?
Push the stuff you like.
Yeah.
Don't the stuff you don't.
Support what you like, man. That's what I always tell
That's
people.
the cool part, man. We have a choice, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. The underground exists. Like you don't have to. You can listen to what you want.
Rock with what you want to rock with. I'm not gonna tell you what to listen to. Like I'm just gonna
And don't
listen to
get
what I
mad
want to.
because somebody discovered something that you like.
That is so
Man,
lame to me.
that's
Yeah, that's the
one.
wackest shit.
Like, why do people want to hold music hostage?
Yeah.
Like, music is the universal language. That's the
100%.
only thing that everybody on the planet
Just
can
share it.
relate to and possibly
Accept.
find a common ground is music.
That
So why do
liter-
people grab music
Man.
and try not to share it to other people? Like, oh, I got this artist I fuck with. I'm not telling y'all about
How
it.
does that help the culture? I'm confused.
I'm glad I really don't know anybody like that. It's fucking-
That
out
happened
there.
today in one of our comments. So I uploaded uploaded a Homeboy Sandman joint.
Yeah.
He's dropping an album called Dusty. Actually, I think on the 18th.
Okay.
And it's a single with 𝗀𝗲 and Your Old Droog. It's a dope joint.
nice.
So I saw it, put a video together. I get notifications from Mello when they drop stuff. And so I put it up on the channel, and the first comment was,
What did it say?
it said, did this other person from this other channel posted this 2 hours ago? Are you just biting him? And so my comment was, do you not want us to share Homeboy's music to our fan base?
Yeah. That's goofy shit. That's goofy. That's goofy.
It's like,
Whack, dude.
just keep your shit to yourself.
So is it about promoting the music and pushing the culture forward, or is it about who shares it? I'm
Well,
confused.
No, it's
Yeah.
about being the only one that can hear
The
it.
only one.
Oh,
and,
okay.
what I'm
That's
saying?
stupid.
I listened to it first.
Yeah.
That's
why would
what
you?
it is.
Why would you have a whole bunch of cold shit tucked away? What purpose does that? What does that serve? I'm confused.
Because people want starving artists to continue being starving artists.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm tripping, man. But anyway, I think Jay Diff, you mentioned Heavy D a while back, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring Heavy D up in this next conversation. Shout out to Kansas City Mac, we see you.
Hey,
Yeah,
shout
you
to
know.
the pizza we almost had.
Yeah. That would have been dope. We could have smashed right here, but they wouldn't have cut us.
That shows you how authentic we are. We
Yeah.
have like the podcast going on. People,
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you,
man.
Kansas City
Thanks,
Mac,
It's
on
all
that.
good.
I ain't know what was going on right there, but anyway,
Everybody here is
This
supposed
might
to
have
be
been the
here,
episode
right?
when we needed that thing.
we might have needed that thing.
Yeah.
tough.
I was just
Yeah.
watching. I was like, if Jay Moore starts coming backwards, I gotta
Yeah, you know, we might have needed that
go
thing.
towards
Good
the
point.
door.
But you mentioned Heavy D, so I saw this on Hip Hop DX Simon Source. They did an interview with Questlove, and he talked about some of the who's the most underappreciated hip hop artist of all time. So this is his quote. He
Money
says,
earner Mount Vernon.
"Man, he mentioned De La Soul. That was his choice.
Yeah.
And he said, we have taken from the tree of De La Soul so many times, and they have never gotten the credit for it. I'll say that. Just as far as I've watched them use samples that later have been used and built empires. I've seen them do concepts. Everything that De La Soul has done, I've seen other people come in and do afterwards, and it's like, so yeah, De La Soul 100% is my choice."
This is what Questlove said?
This is what Questlove said. Now, I know the impact of De La Soul, as we all do. De La Soul is fucking great, in my opinion. 3 Feet High and Rising. We grew up on that. Like, we get it.
Stakes is high.
Stakes is
Balloon
high.
Mind State.
Yeah. The joint they just
going.
dropped, the live joint that was live instrumentation, that shit was cold.
Yep.
So we get it. Native Tongues, you know what I'm saying? When they was with the Jungle Brothers, they got together, Moni Love, you know what I'm saying? Queen Latifah, all that. We get it. But I think this is dope that he actually said that, but I want to kind of go around the table to see, and Kansas City Mac, I'll put you in there as well. The most underappreciated hip-hop artist of all time, you don't have to pick one, I guess. That's hard, right? But I'm sure we all can come up with certain names that are specific to us, that are close to our heart, the people that we
Right.
would consider underappreciated from a hip-hop standpoint. So what do you guys think about that? Is there somebody that you think that you can just automatically come up and say, yo,
Yeah, I can.
I think this person is 100% underappreciated?
I'm gonna keep it with Quest. The Roots.
The Roots, okay.
are by and far one of the most consistent hip hop acts of all time.
Okay.
Constant. They're on popular, like they're on the Jimmy Fallon show, but
Which is a dope look
and
by
to
him,
me
by
the
way.
greatest MC of all time is in the group. So
Hey, shout
I
out to
mean,
Black Thought.
and they got James Poyser and Stro Elliott's.
Yep.
Those dudes are so talented and good, and they stretch so far.
Side note, anybody that's mad about
OK
us,
Player.
Was he number one on our GOAT list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even think of OK Player. Like OK Player came from the Roots,
Facts.
Yep.
and so that even turned into a festival.
Message board era, all that.
Little like Foreign Exchange happened because of the OK Player message boards. That's how
Talk.
𝐁𝐿𝐴 Infante. That's how Little Brother got known. You know
Talk
what I mean?
that talk.
and that comes from the Roots.
Talk
so
that talk.
Do you think they get overlooked because they're like a band?
I absolutely
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's why Black Thought gets overlooked to me as well. But I mean, even think Questlove is bigger now, not even as a drummer, more
Yeah.
as the things he does, like
I have
his
his book.
podcast and
Yeah.
stuff that he does. As a DJ, people know Questlove as a DJ more
Everybody
than a drummer.
knows Questlove. Everybody.
And the fact that they're on that Tonight Show, I think when I heard that initially, when I saw that, I'm like, that's so dope that the Roots are on there. You know what I'm saying? And you get to hear Black Thought black out randomly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, to me, that's a great look for hip hop to have them
Absolutely.
associated with that
That's
show.
to me, and this is where my underground comes out. This is the way that underground is supposed to be mainstream.
100%.
Is
100%.
what they're doing.
What about Kendrick? I think Kendrick does it really well too. As
He
far
does.
as mainstream, but
For sure.
still
I'd
like,
agree with
yeah,
that.
but-
Real quick, I want to pay bills real quick before I'm coming to Jay Diff next. But shout out to Dr. Coleman Dental in Broad Ripple. Make sure you get your teeth is right. BringingDownTheBand.com, as always, is the hub. Make sure you go to the YouTube page, search Bringing Down the Band. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We appreciate all the subscribers that we have. Any CD and vinyl as well. They also take care of us with the dope wax pieces that we use for our raffles. If you become a patron, patreon.com/New Old Heads. You'll be able to enter some of those raffles to get some of the fresh stuff that we have there as well. Also, No Bad Ideas. They've been with us from day one, so we really appreciate
legendary.
them. They are legendary. They got some dope merch. They always lace us.
We have an option too on our Patreon if you want to be a sponsor for a month. So check that out.
Yes.
And we will promote your brand for a month on our show.
Yes, sir. We definitely get y'all out there. Shout out to Printfinity as well. Jay Diff is the captain of that ship.
People know this.
I'm sorry. But he's got some dope things going on there as well. He's got some dope artists coming up. We'll talk about that later on down the road.
You talk about it all the time.
But I'm trying to just get it into their minds, man. It's going to be dope. Did I miss anything? Is that all? Is that everybody? Get everybody.
Dick face.
Whatever. I'm not gonna say what that is, but you know what that is. All right, J Diff, moving forward, sir. Underappreciated.
Were you going to say that's white
Stop,
privilege?
Bradley Spoolz. Stop.
We're going to talk
what I
about
was
this. We're going to talk about that one.
Love y'all, man. Love y'all as always. Y'all my brothers. All right. J Diff, underappreciated, brother. Talk to me.
I'd have to agree on the Black Thought. I'm actually bring up two artists. I'm gonna say Black Thought and I'm gonna speak
Black
on
Thought or
Heavy
the
D
Roots?
too. Huh?
Black Thought or the Root? Just the Roots as a collective.
I'm gonna say just Black Thought
Okay.
because,
All right.
like I said, when you think of the Roots, most people think of Questlove
and Black Thought.
Most
me.
people
Quest
think
is
of
above.
Questlove. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
But as far as lyrically, I mean, they've stuck to the same formula they've always been true to. The song, what they do. If people probably missed the meaning
on,
of
man.
that song from way back then.
There's a lot
Come
of
on,
people
man.
that didn't like them after they made that song
Yeah,
too.
because the video.
video was amazing.
Including someone I'm going to mention when it's my turn.
I'm
Yeah.
coming your way next, Spoolz. I'm
But
coming your way.
yeah, they've stayed true.
Okay.
He doesn't have a whack verse at all.
Ever.
Point me in the right direction.
Argue if
can't-
you want. We'll have that
You
conversation.
can't find one.
At all.
And it's crazy because, to his point, they're on Jimmy Kimmel's
Yes.
Fallon. I'm sorry, it's two
Fallon,
Jimmys with
yeah.
night shows. Nobody knew that Black Thought could rap his ass off until he went into a 7-minute tangent on what was that on?
It was on like
That was on Funkmaster Flex.
That
It was
Flex.
on Funkmaster Flex,
Yeah.
but it was
Shit
almost
was
like
10
they
minutes.
didn't even know that he could do that.
Yeah.
So he sat him down in the chair and interviewed him about that shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
It's
He's been
super
working
crazy.
on this show for this long.
Yeah.
And it took somebody else to share a verse for him to make it to the hot seat on the show that he
Yeah.
works for.
And
Well, he's
been,
not-
He's been legendary.
Oh, I
Been
see what you're saying.
legendary.
Yeah,
But
he's been legendary.
the Heavy D thing,
Yes.
without Heavy D, there's no Biggie.
Thank you,
See,
sir.
people will argue with you about that, but that was from that same cloth that Andre Harrell, Puffy's working for Andre Harrell. He sees this fly fat guy that can rap very well.
Yes, sir.
He's entertaining. He can dance. He just took that formula and put it into a lyricist.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't consider Heavy D necessarily a lyricist,
But it ain't
he's a
matter.
very good rapper and entertainer.
Yeah.
And he didn't drop any whack shit.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Sh-
I can agree with you on that.
Shout out to Peaceful Journey. That's the reason I mentioned Heavy D leading into
That's
this
not his
one.
best album, but it's cool.
I love Peaceful Journey.
That's
though.
cool.
I love Peaceful
That's
Journey.
cool.
That's just me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Don't fight me.
I won't.
All right, to my jump in, Spoolz. Okay, we're gonna go Kansas City Mac real quick. Give me an most underappreciated artist.
I think one of the things that's kind of consistent is that people in groups are overlooked, and
Okay.
I really feel like Big Boy is not appreciated.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
okay, people are consistent like, man, we wish you got another Outkast album,
Yeah.
and then they ask you, but like, man, when's Andre going to do something? And it's like,
Yeah.
Big Boy has been consistently putting out music since Idlewild.
Yeah,
You know, he's
that's
got the
true.
new project with Sleepy Brown. They're putting out records and they're good. And it's like, but people just want to ask, hey, what about Andre? I'm like,
And
at
then
this-
Boomiverse was good. too.
yeah, and so it's like at this point, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a little tired. I'm not tired of hearing about, because I'd like an Andre album too. But
As we
can
all
we
would.
just appreciate the fact that Big Boy is still putting out dope music in 2019.
He dropped the album called before Boomiverse.
yo,
It was
yo, yo,
called Sir Lucius Left Foot, which actually had heat on it as well. So
That was
DJ,
his first.
No DJ.
was that the first
Sir
solo
Lucius
release?
Sir Lucius Left Foot. Say that 10 times fast.
Right.
Is his first solo release.
That
Yes.
album had heat.
Which
Yeah.
song had your DJ ain't no DJ? He
That
just
was
hit
Sir
that
Lucius
instant
Left Foot.
replay.
Yeah.
I just thought that shit was great.
And he got off for the hip hop heads out there, and he got off on the Purple Ribbon All Stars joint. Y'all
And
remember
he
that?
kept it Outcast too.
Kryptonite and all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, there you go, Killer Mike. And them.
He's
Yeah.
the one that introduced the world to Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
Look at her now.
I mean, Big Boy's a legend.
I mean, Dungeon Family.
Come on,
and
man.
the legs that has.
Come on, man.
Because of them. So
If you ever want to look up the Dutchin family tree, he'll get you right.
I mean,
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike. I mean, look what he's doing right now.
Facts.
They had heat.
Yeah.
Bradley Spoolz, unappreciated.
Small
Underappreciated.
handful. Totally agree with Questlove. I think De La Soul is unappreciated. For
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I think UGK is super underappreciated in hip hop, especially Pimp C. To be honest with you, especially from a production standpoint.
Not in Texas.
Yeah. But
Outside
all
of
over-
Texas,
Outside of Texas.
all
Outside of
over.
Texas,
Like,
I
he just
think you're
doesn't
right.
Get,
yeah.
he doesn't get what he the props he deserves for being the producer that he was. He was incredible, man. Incredible. There was somebody else I was gonna.
I've got one other person too, which is Redman.
I just was that's who I was gonna say.
That,
Where
you
is
took
Muddy
mine.
Waters
So
too?
You
at?
took
Slept on,
mine.
man.
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say Red Man. I was
sorry.
gonna say Red Man.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mike.
But it's
That
cool
was
though.
white privilege right there.
Yeah, it was. It's cool though.
You know
But I
what?
agree
We
with
went
you
around the
guys on
table. I just
Redman.
assumed. I just
Yeah.
ignored you. I thought
I
you were
sure
done.
was gonna come with Red Man, but it's cool though. It's all good.
Punked you.
Muddy Waters. Yes, sir.
No, I think Pimp C's super underappreciated.
I'll be honest. I got on to UGK a little later than I should, but I went back and did my research and did my homework. Pimp C, from a production standpoint, singing on the hooks, doing all the production, UGK.
Country rap too.
He
Country rap,
produced
the
for-
vibe that they had.
I'm reading his book. Pimp,
Yeah.
and he produced for a ton of people
And it's on the low.
on the low.
It's on the low.
Like he produced Big Mike's probably best song,
Oh yeah.
Having Things.
No shit. Well, he is singing on the hook though.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. That step to his point, it shows you how talented Pimp C was. He's singing and producing these records.
Yeah. And he's
You know
in
what
the
I mean?
vid- he's in the
Singing
video,
on
too.
it. Yeah, like they had some heat. Like if you listen to Underground Kings, like what's my joint on there? Oh my goodness, I feel bad. I don't know the name of it. Switches to Doja. What is it, number 2?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Man, that song is so cold. He all over the place on that one. And I'm like, yo, fam was talented, man.
The last group I'm gonna mention because is Goodie Mob.
Thank you.
It's a-
I see. This is where the disconnect with Goodie Mob happens. Is because they had ascended and people were giving them that torch until they dropped that World Party bullshit.
Yeah.
So after Soul Food, right? Soul
Yep.
Food was the
Soul
first
Food
album.
was established.
Okay, they was cool.
And then they dropped what's the next? Still Standing.
And then World Party was after that,
Yes.
right? Okay.
World Party fucked up the train.
That's when they lost it. Yeah,
That's when they lost it. And then CeeLo went solo.
I just think they're underappreciated based on what they put out, and I think the influence that they had on us.
I'm
gonna drop that World
gonna
Party.
agree
Hey,
with
man,
that.
I can't disagree with that.
You
man.
hate no, you don't
Nah,
like
because
World
I
Party.
love Goodie Mob, and when
Yes,
they
sir.
dropped that, I was like, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
this?"
But when you look at Self there, like just some of the some of the songs that they and what they meant, and again, I think some of the influence that they had. I think
Go
are
listen to
underappreciated.
CeeLo verse on Thought Process.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, go listen to that.
Black Ice
CeeLo's
is an
first
incredible
solo
song.
album is
Yeah.
severely slept on
Facts.
before he started doing all the shit with
Yeah.
Danger Mouse.
Yeah.
Hey,
Now, some of that shit with Danger Mouse is brilliant, though. The Gnarls Barkley shit.
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, they first, how many projects did he drop?
like
Saint
2 or
Elsewhere.
3. I think like 3.
The first 2 for sure, I know for a fact. Them shits was dope. But no, thank you for mentioning Goodie Mob, bro. Like,
yeah,
I fucks with Goodie Mob. Soul Food, that whole album is cold. The entire album. But I'm with you.
CeeLo had 2 great solo albums though before he started on
The Gnarls Barkley.
Yeah,
I'm with you on World Party. World Party kind
that
of,
was bad. G.
yeah, they kind of lost me a little bit on World
And then they
Party.
tried to make a comeback.
You didn't like Get Rich to This?
Come on,
Get
man.
Rich to
Don't
This
do that.
was okay.
It was okay.
cool. But it
But
ain't
the rest of that album was.
it ain't feel like Soul Food though.
Nah.
It ain't feel like, you know what I'm saying? That
And then even Still Standing was gritty.
yeah,
Like
it
even the
was.
way it started out, the first song on Still Standing,
Yeah.
great way to start.
Wait,
the
which
album.
one of y'all mentioned Black Ice? Was that you, Spoolz?
Yes.
Black Ice
Black
is
Ice
cold.
was, and then they followed up the first song with Black Ice.
Sky High.
They was swinging on boys when that
Yeah.
album came out.
yeah.
Dirty South is an incredible
Dirty
song.
South is a
with
great-
Outkast
yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Or Big Boy. Is it just Big Boy or is Andre's on there?
This could all be stemmed back to Big Boy too, though.
Yeah.
Facts.
Well, just the dungeon.
Yeah.
Well, Dungeon, yeah.
Cool
Outkast.
Breeze was on that record.
Thank you, sir.
Cool Breeze's
for giving
first
Cool
album
Breeze.
is good too,
Yeah.
as well. Can't remember the name of it, but it's dope.
Thank you for
Coolest
mentioning
East Point's
Cutter.
greatest hit.
Yep.
Thank you for mentioning Cool Breeze on the low. He had heat. He definitely had heat. So
Everybody in that camp had talent. Everybody.
There's times, this is going to sound crazy because I think it's for like people either don't understand or like Scarface, or he's one of the best ever. For me, he's one of the best. If
never
not the best
understood
ever.
that. Never understood
I don't
that.
get people that, but that's
Yeah.
that's another story.
Scarface is. I would actually put Scarface above UGK probably.
In terms of underappreciated.
Underappreciated.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
And the only reason I say that is because I personally like Scarface more than UGK.
That's fair.
But
That's
personal preference.
Shout out to my man PA.
It's fine.
Stop. Shout out to my man PA that loves everything pre 1990. I don't know, 3 or something.
Damn.
He'll like that we actually mentioned Scarface. He loves the Ghetto Boys. Like he swear everything the Ghetto Boys dropped was.
Well, Scarface got better.
That's what I thought.
So-
I thought he got better.
Dude's incredible, man.
Those
I
last
thought he
few
got
albums is good. So, Mike, you didn't answer it. So, is Redman your choice?
I was gonna say Redman. I don't know if I'm missing anything else.
I think right now Crit is not appreciated.
I would agree with that.
But it's still hard to say him because it's only been like 8-9 years, maybe.
And I still feel like he's in the middle of his prime year run.
For sure.
But I think I'm
I agree with
in.
that.
I think I'm in with Spoolz on this one. I still don't, even with everything that y'all said, I'm not mad at that.
He will be here on the 22nd of November.
With
Yes.
Rhapsody,
With
by the way.
Rhapsody.
But I think I'm with Spoolz on that one because
I want to see what he
him
does in
pro-
the future.
him producing his records, especially the early stuff, all those classic mixtapes. Crit was here, you know what I'm saying? King Remember the Time, all those joints. He's producing and rapping.
J. Cole's
those
doing
joints.
the same thing.
Yeah, Jake. What I'm saying is, if you look at J. Cole, his mixtapes and everything he was putting up,
Bless you.
I can easily put Crit's joints right up there with him.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like J. Cole's is up here and Crit's is down there.
Nah, I'm
It was
not
on the
saying
same
that
thing.
at all.
I'm gonna throw one more name out there. We'll wrap it up. I'm sure you got other shit.
Yeah, you good?
Prince Paul, and I know that goes back to De La Soul, but I think he's super underappreciated.
That's a good
Did a
name.
lot, man.
That's a
Production wise,
That's
Production
an OG
wise,
name.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he's mainly as a.
That's an OG name. Yeah, that's an OG name.
I think
for
there's
sure.
a lot of underappreciated producers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
my
Easy Mo B
God.
is at the top of my list.
Knots.
Knots is very underrated.
Larry Smith.
Ill Mind.
Yeah,
I see what you did
Larry
there.
Smith. Yeah.
Exile.
Knots, man. Knots
Easy
is
Mo B, man.
really underappreciated.
Also, N.O. Joe he did so much. He did a lot of Scarface.
Jake
shit,
One?
a lot of Jake One.
Jake One is tough. Jake One is tough. He's tough.
I think Marco Polo. He's just more underground.
He's more underground. He's been consistent, though.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Q-Tip.
Port Authority projects.
As
are
a
dope.
producer,
Q-Tip.
yeah.
I thought
as a
about
producer.
Q-Tip, but
As a producer, yes.
That's a good call.
I mean, he just executive produced Danny Brown's new album. So
I'm
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, there's the cup runneth over for
producers?
underappreciated producers. I think because you have to actually back in the day to even know who produced it, you had to
Look 'em
read
up.
the liner notes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
credits.
saying, to see who made that beat, that track. Daz.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Oh
say
my
Daz.
God.
Daz did a lot, man.
Man,
Daz is very instrumental in the early Death
DJ
Row
Quick,
days.
your man. You like
That's
DJ
my
Quick
guy.
a lot,
Love
yeah.
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick's definitely underrated.
I don't think Quick gets the love. There's no matter of fact. I know he doesn't get the love that he deserves from a production standpoint. Him and Battle Cat. I think Battle Cat's
Yeah,
underrated.
Battle Cast.
I don't
nice.
think either of them do, actually. They're actually highly underrated.
It's sad
Both of them.
because these are guys that if they didn't birth it, they pushed it forward. The West Coast sound. Like these guys are. You talking about the dudes that influenced Daz and the rest of these cats, like Dr. Dre and all these dudes that were producing out there. Battle Cat and Quick, man, like to me it's undeniable. Like they are definitely, underappreciated. Even I'll take it to the Midwest. Like to me, Mr. Porter don't get enough love.
No, he don't.
I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
Denon Porter is
I
crazy
think he's
talented.
For those that don't know,
amazing.
out of D12,
D12.
D12, yep.
He's amazing as a producer. You know what I'm saying?
he's
Like
definitely better than him.
Okay. yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's-
only
that's-
as
that's
he
just
might
a
even.
fact.
well,
he's cold,
yeah.
man. He's cold blooded.
Well, I mean, he you can tell that he has Dilla roots.
oh
Yep.
no question.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he used to work with Dilla.
yeah.
yeah.
Him, Proof, and Dilla used to do a 10-minute beat contest back in the day.
I believe it.
That's actually how one of the joints by the Far Side that Proof flipped, where the sample's reversed and the video's in reverse.
Yeah.
Proof
Yeah.
produced that joint. That's how it got made.
What
that
joint
was
that?
What song was that?
Drop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Drop was produced by
Far
Proof.
Side.
Yeah,
I had
by,
no
by the
idea
Far
that
Side.
Proof produced that.
So Proof produced that, but it was one of those. They just reversed the sample.
You know who else?
Wow.
You know who else has slept on from a production standpoint? DJ 𝗀𝗲.
I completely agree with that too.
DJ 𝗀𝗲. He.
Yeah.
Like he's got heat. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people, especially in the South, like there's some producers in the South, man, that are just, I don't think they, like 𝗀𝗲 is one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Because he doesn't go out and try to be a superstar producer. He's just a
Right.
musician.
Yeah.
You know, 𝗀𝗲 is somebody that
Yeah.
when you go back and you're like, oh yeah, he did all that stuff for T.I., he did that for
Oh, yeah.
Kanye West.
Oh,
It's
my
like,
God.
oh, okay, yeah. When you look at his resume, but he's just not. I don't think I really know what he looks like.
He's actually on that. I didn't either until he's on that Hip Hop Evolution documentary. He
That's
gets
been in my
interviewed.
list to watch for the last 6 months.
It's good, man.
I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
But
The
not though.
Alchemist.
Knots is my number one.
I don't think
I-
he's underappreciated.
Nah,
The
it's-
Alchemist? You don't think so?
I think
so.
everybody knows him and
Yeah.
is very appreciative
From an
of him.
underground point of view. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
but
Yeah,
that's what
maybe
he
s-
is, though, really.
yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I don't think Knots.
But Knots is the number one to me.
I
Because
think-
Knots is
yeah.
in my top 5 of all time.
He's
Producers.
amazing.
I know he still does stuff, but like Easy Mo B to me is just like, man, how can you fucking? I mean, he produced so much shit for
Yeah, like
Tupac and for Biggie. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't remember
He
the old
produced
Tupac
shit
shit.
with Miles Davis.
Yeah,
He did what's my joint on Me Against the World? Temptations. He produced that.
Yeah, Mo
Like, that's-
B, man.
That's what I'm
dropped
saying.
that
Like
shit.
that joint is cold.
Yeah.
Right?
That's my favorite Pac album.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Me Against
yeah.
the World. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
I remember you saying that. From a production standpoint, we can cut through layers.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many
I mean,
layers.
14
that we can talk
KT, Stro Elliott.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Stro
could
is
just,
a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
we could just keep going on this.
He's dropping a new project here pretty soon. I just got an alert.
Crisis.
Hey, Stro
Crisis.
Elliott is an absolute fool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even we just had Trees, the homie Terrell, tall black guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolute fool.
I told him too. I was like, man, that's crazy that, like, I got you in my Serato right now. I play
Right now.
Your shit had no idea that, you know what I'm saying, it was that close.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a chance to see my man's genius up close. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's a very talented brother, man.
Yeah.
Sees it. He sees it. To me, from a producer standpoint, it's fun to watch someone else's procedure, how they go about it. You know, and you can point out the things that are different that make people stand out. So it's good to kind of just sit back and watch and see how people
he still
approach
uses
things.
acid?
Yes, he's a proponent of acid. Uses that. I mean, he does his DJ
You got to
sets and stuff.
specify
on
what kind
Ableton.
of acid.
Acid music.
Thank you, man.
Sony acid
We ain't
music.
promoting them drugs out there.
Yeah, he still uses acid.
Yeah. Jay Moore eyes got a little big when we said acid.
No,
I ain't gonna put him
I
out
know.
there.
I had
trying to do
a
some
crack
DMT.
version of acid for a long time, so I know. What
Shout out to the cracks out there. I knew. I
Shout out
used
to
to
Peter
know.
Quistgaard.
I used to know a crack. I
That's the
Word
Cool
up.
Edit Pro.
Yeah. Cool Edit Pro, man.
If he does, if he
Love
needs
it.
to get some sort of hip hop award because he's helped out so
he
many.
should.
Hey,
Yes.
man, one of my friends in high school was a crack king. Back in the days, he used to have
There's
cracks.
more
for everything.
drug references. You got to let
Yeah.
people know what this
I ain't
is.
gonna
you
put
know.
him out there like that, but he had all the education you need this year and that year. But nah, man, Terrell's dope. Tall black guy's dope. This mic is killing me right now. All right, is there anything else that we missing before we wrap up? Did I forget anything? Is there anything that
Your
don't
love
think
for
so.
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule?
Your
Ja
love
Rule?
for him.
Ja Rule was acting a plum fool out
He
here.
was a
talking
little
about 50
underrated,
Cent.
huh?
Huh?
He was a little underrated?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
at
did
all.
think it was kind of funny when he said that.
I love when I get a good spool.
Looks like his
50
breath
Cent
stinks.
Looks like his breath stinks.
Yo, he started off with he's a bad father.
Like, I'm not a Ja Rule fan by any stretch if you've watched this show, but when he said that, I was like, that's kind of does.
It's kind of funny, but at the same time, that's one of the Jones
Yeah.
that somebody says that doesn't have any good
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's kind of true with
like,
50 Cent.
and plus it ain't hit right because he had a turtleneck on. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I saw him. He had a blazer, the turtleneck.
That would affect
I
the
don't think
impact.
anything is wrong with sporting a turtleneck.
Have you seen
You
Ja
gotta
Rule
rock
in a
it right,
turtleneck
though.
though?
I mean, he looks like a turtle, so I could imagine it probably looked different.
Like-
What was that
That's what I'm talking
turtle
about.
from the book that when we was coming up? What was his name?
Oh,
Tortoise and a hare.
Nah,
Stop,
man.
man.
Remember that little turtle?
he had glasses, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna find a name so we can
Oh,
call Ja
I know
Rule that
exactly
next
what
week.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember that dude, man.
Yo,
Where's Ja when we need him?
I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. As always, for the entire crew, we appreciate you all. Shout out to Ja Rule. Serving
Don't shout him out.
Why?
serving salami at the Fry Fest.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next
No, he
week.
was serving fried bologna.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Nah,
sorry.
they were
Oh,
just
you would have been
cheese
awesome. You would have
sandwiches.
been good to go, bro.
You'd have got you one of them bungalows.
Shout out to-
Is that what that tent's called?
One FEMA tent and one fried bologna from Mike.
shout out to Ja Rule and that salami. We'll see y'all next week.
3 hots in a cot.